All right, guys, the 2020 Oscars was last night. And once again, I did not watch it. I refuse to watch these political shows that are disguised as entertainment awards because all it is a show to push political messages. I'm not watching it. I'm out on that. I don't think I've watched the Oscars since 2004, to tell you the truth. But I did read up on some of the things that were going on, and it was the same old song and dance. Let's get political. That's it. I mean, Brad Pitt brings up Trump impeachment. What does Trump impeachment have to do with accepting an award for Best Supporting Actor or whatever he won? Doesn't make any sense because we all know that Brad Pitt is not a saint himself. But I digress. This video is about Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix won the Best Actor award for the 2020 Oscars, and he absolutely deserved to win this award. There was no question about it. This was a slam dunk, in my opinion. Now, I was hoping that Joker would win Best Picture, but it didn't. Some movie that I never heard of, I don't think a lot of you actually heard of, won the award. But he won the award, and he gets up there and he gives a very, very weird speech. I mean, but Joaquin Phoenix is a very, very weird person. He just is. But one thing I did appreciate that he said, he's not a fan of cancel culture. He's not. He says this: that's when we're at our best, when we support each other, not when we cancel each other out for past mistakes, but when we help each other to grow, when we educate each other, when we guide each other towards redemption. Now, I 100% agree with that. Cancel culture is not a good thing because the people that want to cancel you, they act like they're never in the wrong. They act like they can do no wrong. And that's the problem. So cancel culture, he hit it right on the head. But the rest of his speech was very, very strange. So I'm going to read some segments of his speech that he gave. And when we get to the part about the cow, he's a vegan. It's kind of ridiculous what he said, but let's move on. This is what he said. I've been thinking a lot about some of the distressing issues we're facing collectively, and I think at times we feel or are made to feel that we are championing different causes. But for me, I see commonality. Okay? I think whether we are talking about gender inequality or racism or queer rights or indigenous rights or animal rights, we're talking about the fight against injustice. We're talking about the fight against the belief that one nation, one race, one gender, or one species has the right to dominate, to control, and use another with impunity. Of course, it would not be an acceptance speech unless you brought up race, gender, and LGBT rights. It just wouldn't be. He falls right into that category right there. Just accept your award, say a little thank yous, and get off stage. But he continues on. I think that we've become very disconnected from the natural world. And many of us, what we are guilty of is an egocentric worldview, the belief that we are the center of the universe. We go into the natural world and we plunder it for resources. So I guess he's not a fan of oil and gas. So I guess that kind of throws me under the bus considering I work in oil and gas, but let's continue on. We feel entitled to artificially inseminate a cow, and when she gives birth, we steal her baby, even though her cries of anguish are unmistakable. And then we take her milk that's intended for her calf and put it into our coffee and our cereal. And I think we fear the idea of personal change because we think that we have to sacrifice something to give something up. But human beings at our best are so inventive and creative and ingenious. And I think that when we use love and compassion as our guiding principles, we can create, develop, and implement systems of change that are beneficial to all sentient beings, and the environment. Really? You don't say Joaquin Phoenix. Anyway, now I have to be now I have been a scoundrel in my life. I have been selfish, and I have been cruel at times, hard to work with, and ungrateful. But so many of you in this room have given me a second chance. Well, I'm glad that he actually mentioned his flaws, because it's been well documented that Joaquin Phoenix is a hard person to work with. He's a weird guy. He just is. And lastly, he says, I think that when we're at our best, when we support each other, not when we cancel each other out for past mistakes, but when we help each other to grow, when we educate each other, when we guide each other to redemption, that is our best of humanity. Now, that's the only part that I agree with. Bringing up all the race and gender and all that kind of thing. Why do they do this every single Oscars, but yet Hollywood doesn't make any changes to benefit minorities? They just don't. But it looks good to go up there and preach about making changes. Think about that. Remember, Oscar So White was trending again this year because just about everybody in the major categories were all white. They don't care about this stuff. And Joaquin Phoenix goes on this tangent, about you're bad if you drink cow's milk. It's ridiculous. You're bad if you're going to eat meat because you're killing an animal. Well, I guess he doesn't know that animals kill each other, but I digress. But what do you think of this acceptance speech by Joaquin Phoenix? I thought it was very weird. The only thing I agree with was the cancel culture reference, and that was it. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.